Welcome folks, and welcome to a video about the Porsche Boxster S. Many of you have probably thought, what is it like to drive a Porsche Boxster S? Well, let me tell you, one of the first things that jumps out to you about a Porsche Boxster S is how direct and immediate the handling is. Now when you put your foot down, she revs all the way up to about 7,000 revs. So what is a Porsche Boxster like? In the corners, wow, she is phenomenal. I don't think there's many cars as good as this in a corner. There's cars that will go faster in a corner because they've probably got four-wheel drive and wider wheels and all the rest of it. But in terms of actual cornering, the way this car sits, how planted she is, how firm she sits on the ground without you feeling like you're going to be unsettled, it's pretty amazing. What else do you notice in a Porsche Boxster S? Well, on the road, it's actually quite firm. When I say firm, there are a couple of suspension settings, so if you put it into sport mode, it automatically goes into the stiffer setting on the suspension, but you can back that off back to road suspension. If I was to buy this car again, I think I'd buy it in an auto. I think it would really suit the flappy paddles of an automatic, either in the, I think the PDK is the more popular one, the slightly newer one. So I'm going under 30 miles an hour and I'm going to be putting the roof down. So what I do is I release this little catch here, I reach down and I get the roof button, and right now the roof's going to go down. That's right. And by the time I need to go a bit over 30 miles an hour, I'm going to be ready. And I'm done. Now a really important aspect of a Roadster is what it's like with the hood down. I am wearing a woolly hat, but it's because it's March and I'm a little bit chilly, but it's actually pretty warm in here today. Now how does this compare to other cars I've driven? Well, the wind's pretty good. Do you know one of the best cars I've driven is a Mazda MX-5 for the level of wind. So here we are, second gear, put it down. We're going pretty quick now and it's pretty fun. The handling is phenomenal. You know, it's hard to complain about this car in any way and what it does on an open road. Whoa, here we go! To infinity and beyond! Woo! If I were to make any mods to the Porsche Boxster, what would it be? I would definitely look at the exhaust. I feel the power is pretty good for the kind of car and the kind of balance that it needs, but I would look at the sound. The sound when you start it up and when you're pulling away at low speeds until you've really got well over 4,000 revs, it sounds pretty dull, and if I'm honest, it's a little disappointing. Do you know one of the best features of the Porsche Boxster is actually how much you can carry in it? It is surprisingly practical. You do have a small rear boot, but you have a front boot because it's a mid-engine car. So you have a boot in the front, and that is surprisingly deep. I mean, you can get probably at least 5 or 6 big shopping bags in it. I can even get my fold-up bike in it and take the car around. Is the stereo any good in a Porsche Boxster S? This has all of the BOSE speaker system that is meant to be pretty good. I'm going to be honest with you, compared to other car premium stereo systems, this is not that great a stereo system. So in a minute, I'm going to go below 30 miles an hour, I'm going to put the roof up. So let's do it. Under 30, the roof's going up now. And it's telling me I'm closing the convertible. You can probably see things changing behind me. I'm getting home and it's going to pop across. Now, the roof's now up. I need to pull that thing down. The windows will pop back up. And we're all sealed and ready to go home. So what's the best bits about a Porsche Boxster S? Probably the direct steering, the feeling in the corner, and the sound once you get over around 5,000 revs. Best way to sum up a Porsche Boxster S? She's quite practical with the front boot. She handles amazingly. She gets lots of good looks. And I think she lacks a little bit of passion.